welcome to my very first Get Ready With Me. I'm so excited to be making my first full-length YouTube video. We're gonna do a little bit of get to know me, chit chat, talk about post-grad life, travel, all of that. So let's get into the video. I asked the girls on Instagram what should I talk about, because as much as I love to yap, sometimes I don't know what I want to yap about. I'ma always be able to talk. It's just what's the topic. But before we get into everything, my name is Allie and my platform is called From a Black Girl, because I talk about the Black female experience and just lifestyle, beauty, wellness, all of that, and how it relates to me being a Black girl. So I hope you enjoy the content. I hope you go check me out on Instagram, Threads, all that. But let's get into this makeup. I'm going for a semi-matte look today, and anytime that I want a semi-matte look and not something too matte, I go in with two primers, a hydrating primer and a matte primer. So today we're going with the Refy. This is the, what is this called? The face primer, Glow and Sculpt. This is the Glow and Sculpt, and then after that I'm gonna go in with the Smashbox Photo Finish. I just posted about this today on Instagram because I was talking about my beauty staples. Smashbox Photo Finish, I'm looking over here because the mirror is over here. Smashbox Photo Finish, like, she's the OG. Don't play with her, you know. That's the 2016 when YouTube makeup was really popping off. That's what the girls was talking about, and I've been hooked ever since. I learned how to do my makeup when I was like 12. Couldn't wear it out the house because my parents was not playing it, but I knew how to do it. When the day came, best believe I was ready with my full face. I already knew, and I'm not gonna lie, I really enjoyed that I was able to do that, because I feel like, one, it gave me something to do. Like, I just had a lot of fun with it. But two, when it came time for me to really have to do makeup, when I got to, you know, later years in high school and college, it came in handy because I already knew the basics. And of course the makeup has changed so much, but a lot of things are fundamentally the same, and it's kind of good to just have a grasp on that. So I'm glad for those days where I was experimenting. Into a little bit about me. Like I said, my name is Allie. I'm 22. I graduated from the University of Missouri, also known as Mizzou. I majored in business admin with the emphasis in marketing, and then I got my minor in journalism. I am a writer, so I'm a content creator, but I also write. I have a blog, Letters from a Young Black Woman. You can find the links below. I'm gonna link everything. It's gonna be a link center under this video. But yeah, I love writing. I love writing about the Black female experience. Anything to do with being Black, I love it. I just love it. But now I'm gonna go in with my foundation. This is the Makeup by Mario. I'm in the shade 18W. I was talking about how much I love the House Labs foundation on Instagram today, and I very much do. But sometimes you want to try something new, and something was calling me to use this foundation today. I don't know what it is, but that's what we're going in with. My shade, I kind of need to get a new House Labs foundation because I think my shade is a little bit golden, but I still love that foundation. Like, I think that is something that every girl, especially if you're normal to combo skin, get up on that wave. And what's funny about this Makeup by Mario one is I honestly did not like this foundation when I first got it. Like, I don't know what about it I wasn't messing with, but I wasn't. What else should y'all know about me? I'm an only child, which is cool, but I also have hella cousins. That kind of makes up for it. Sometimes there is always something going on when you have a big family. Always something to do, always some type of event, birthday party, something to do. But I love having a big family. I want a big family myself. I be telling people I want 5 kids. I'm probably not gonna actually have 5 kids, but you know, if that's what the Lord want, if that's what you want. But no, for real, realistically, 3, maybe 4. Kind of getting back into like content creating and how I all arrived here. It's funny that I'm in marketing. I'm a digital consultant, and so that's kind of digital marketing and all of that related. But I thought that I was going to go to culinary school. Like, I thought I was going to go get my undergrad degree, then go to culinary school, and then, you know, I'd be like a pastry chef. And I love to cook, I love to bake, but the thing is that I realized later on that as much as I loved it and it was a great side hustle when I was in college, I did not want to spend my everyday cooking or baking because I love it so much. And sometimes when you love something so much, you don't necessarily want to tie your career to it or tie money to it, because that makes it more stressful. Like if you have to go to work every single day and do something, it puts the stress of that being your livelihood on it. So you don't really want to partake in it as, you know, just a hobby or something that you enjoy that's a part of your day. So yeah, that's kind of how I got away from that, and I'm really glad that I did, because now I'm getting back into baking finally. Like I took a long break, but I'm finally getting back into it. I've always loved to cook. I grew up in the kitchen with my granny trying to help out all the time, and that has just kind of transferred down to me, which is beautiful. Another thing that I love to do, reading. If you ever want a book rec, come to me. I love romance, thriller. I'm really getting into memoirs. I am not a big self-help girl. I honestly, after you done read 2, maybe 3 self-help books, you've read them all. I'm not doing something, best believe I got a book or my Kindle in my hand. Like that's my Kindle is my girl. She's my girl. Just finished with foundation. Now we're gonna go in with the Makeup by Mario. This is the Sculpt stick. This is the shade Dark. This is what I have been using as my bronzer. Me and bronzer, I don't know what it was, y'all, but like I was really struggling to find a bronzer that was working for me. All of them was like a little bit too gray, and I just wasn't applying it right. I was seriously struggling. But then I found this Makeup by Mario stick, and things have been a lot better. I'm gonna go back in with my nose bronzer. I'm not really a contour girl. I've never really been a contour girl. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know. It don't work for me. But yeah. See, it's a nice blend. It's real creamy. And what I love about going in with bronzer like this is it's easy to, like, you don't have to, it doesn't have to be perfect. Like, as long as you just blend it into the skin and then go over with your blush on top, it's all going to work out. And I think that some people get intimidated by makeup, but you really just have to give yourself the time to, you have to give yourself the time to experiment. Like, learn what works for you. Everybody's face is not the same. So as much as, yes, watch videos and all of that, take tips from people, you are going to have to experiment, because everybody's face is not the same, everybody's undertones are not the same. So you just got to see what works for you. As I'm doing my makeup, I'm realizing I really need to shave my face. But let's kind of talk about post-grad life. Y'all don't know how happy I be when I get done with everything I got to do in a day, and I ain't got no more assignments to have to tend to. Like, the fact that I don't have to think about going to class, having to do assignments, all of that, it's blissful. Like, if you are a college girl, the day is gonna come, and the day is going to be, it's gonna be wonderful. Like, after going to school for how long, you know, we be in school 1st grade through college, I was so ready to be done. I was so ready to be done. Like, it's blissful. But beyond just like the whole class, not having to go to class, not having to do assignments, one thing that I really enjoy about post-grad life is the ability to just explore new things, travel. I have been traveling so much this year. April is the first month since this year started that I do not have a trip planned. My need for rest is happy, and my pockets is happy, because as much as traveling is fun, it's expensive. Like, it, you know, if you don't know how to budget or just know how to control yourself, it can get kind of crazy to be traveling that much, especially depending on where you're going. And me and my friends like to go outside. We like to book us a section. We like to get like that. So you have to be on your whole budgeting thing. And that's actually something that somebody brought up that they wanted me to talk about, is how I budget for trips and just plan for that. And I do monthly budgeting, so it's easier to be able to work in what I need for trips because I already have a budget plan. I'm not super strict about it. I'm strict about the biggest purchases, but if I spend $2 at the gas station or $3 on my train ticket, I might not log that every month. I have a general bucket for how much I'm spending on transportation, food, stuff like that. But I feel like I've gotten to a point where I can mentally grasp how much I'm spending on money and, you know, those buckets like that, or how much I'm spending on food, transportation, stuff like that. But budgeting for trips is important. And one thing for me is every paycheck I don't save the same amount of money, but I know that I'm saving something. And as long as all of my bills and everything I need to have paid is paid, that's what's going to depend on what goes into saving. So some months it's a bigger number, sometimes it's a smaller number, but what's also crucial is that I have different savings accounts. So I have long-term savings and short-term saving. And short-term saving is really more my play money. So if I want to buy myself a nice gift, if I need, you know, stuff for traveling and to pay for stuff, that's my fun money. That's where all of that comes from. So when you have, you know, the whole situation where you just have a whole bucket of money that you know is going to travel or things that you want to do for fun, it's easier to not have to stress about it, if that makes sense. But if you have any more questions about that in general, just let me know, and, you know, I'll give any tips or anything like that. But now let's go in with some blush. I am using the Patrick Ta blush. If y'all have not heard about these blushes, mine is dirty and it's embarrassing, but it's just it's pretty packaging. But if y'all have not tried these blushes, oh my god, they are so good. This is in the shade She's Wanted. It's a nice berry shade. I have really been into these shades the last couple months, so when I saw this Patrick had one of these, maybe I had to grab it immediately. And I think what I really like about these blushes is that it comes with the cream and the powder, so you can do your cream blush and then you can set it. But powder, you're supposed to go in with the powder first and then go in with the cream, and I have done that. We're gonna do that today. It's been a while since I've used one of these, so hopefully that is still working out as it should. But back to post-grad life, one thing that I feel like you will experience if you're dealing with post-grad life, or even just coming into your 20s in general, is that when you were younger, you probably had a whole bunch of plans of how you thought things were going to go. And when you get up in these early 20s, you may realize it ain't going like that. And it might not necessarily, it might be something that you have to mourn, like it's things that you thought were going to come to fruition and aren't necessarily coming about in the way that you thought that it was going to. But it also might be something that's a good thing. You might stumble upon an opportunity that you never thought you would get at your age, and it comes about a lot quicker, or you might not be tapping into the same experiences that your peers, your friends are. And sometimes you just have to learn to be comfortable with your timeline. Like, my perspective on this is just, if we were all living the same timeline, what would really be the point of life? Like, what would be the point of us all being here doing our own thing if we was all experiencing the same thing in the same amount of time? Like, that would be really, really boring. So that perspective helps. And I'm not saying that I don't get into moments too where I'm like, oh, you know, that's not happening for me, and I wish I was in that position. But that's just a reminder that I kind of offer myself when I do get into periods like that. Yeah, I had to this is just seeming really dark down here, but we gonna come back in here with some I'm gonna just come back in with the brush that I use for my foundation and kind of blend this out too. Sometimes you just gotta rework. See, you gotta rework. That's what I'm saying. But yeah, just a reminder that everybody is on their own timeline. Everybody is doing their own thing, and nobody's looking at you crazy. You're probably the one thinking about it the most. If you feel like, for example, I feel like the biggest example of this is being in relationships. You probably think that everybody thinking or looking at you like, oh, she ain't got no man. Baby, ain't nobody thinking about you. Like, not in that way, not in a bad way. It's just we always think that people are perceiving us more than they actually are, and it ain't that serious. Like, just live your life. Like Rihanna said, just live your life. Perspective is something that I honestly learned from my best friend. Like, she has a really good grasp on having or just switching up your perspective when needed. So shout out to her, because she got me together. She really got me together. But yeah, she's coming back out later. But next, let's get into concealer. I'm going in with my Nars Radiant Creamy. Another product, if you don't know about it, find out about it. An OG concealer. Like, she never fails. She never fails. It's creamy, it's comfortable, comes in so many shades. Like, I love her. This is in the shade medium dark 2 caramel, and then I'm gonna put a little bit of the lighter shade in there too. Oh, another thing that I wanted to talk about when it comes to just like rethinking your plan is once you finally get into like the job or the career that you wanted to be in, the trajectory or just the path that you take to, you know, whatever your final goal is in that career, it might look different. Like, for me, honestly, I've come to a place where I'm kind of comfortable saying that I don't know what my career is going to look like. Like, I know I'm going to be good either way. I feel like I'm a adaptable learner. I have a lot of skills, and I'm going to make sure that I'm always on a track towards a career that's fulfilling for me. But I also don't know how that's going to happen. Like, I'm open to exploring different avenues of how that happens, because once again, you just never know what's going to come about for you. Another thing, let's talk about living life in Chicago. As I said, Chicago born and raised, best city in the world. So being back here is lovely. Like, I always knew that, I won't say always, when I first went away to school, I had left Chicago and I wasn't coming back. Like, I was gonna leave to go to school, finish school, and move somewhere else. But I am so glad that I came back to Chicago to do, you know, my first couple years of post-grad life, because it's just the best city, and being here as an adult is even better. Like, being raised here is one thing, but being here with that, you know, grown money, that is a nice vibe. That is a really, really nice vibe. And, you know, there's always something to do. Like, even if I didn't love my city as much as I do and really do think that it's the best city in the world, I would tell anybody to visit Chicago. There's so much culture, so much great food, so many activities, especially during the summertime. That is the best time to visit. People who visit Chicago in the winter, like, yes, like, we have the snow and we do have a lot of winter activities, but like, why would you even want to do that to yourself? Eventually, I'm gonna have to leave this snow and this cold weather behind. I just went in with my eyebrow pencil. This is the NYX micro brow pencil in the shade Espresso. This is not my favorite eyebrow pencil. I just don't know where my Refy or my Benefit is, so I honestly feel like I'm not going to find them, but this is why you keep a backup on deck. I do like it. I like it enough to be using it, but it's not my favorite. I feel like it's kind of unpredictable. Like, you never know how intense the strokes are gonna be, but yeah. My brows don't look right, baby. The look is done for. Wipe the whole face off. Like, I can't do it. I really can't do it if the brows don't look right. One thing that I'm finding really useful on this content creation journey is the fact that I majored in marketing. But at the same time, like, as much as I know or have the education behind things that should work, content creation is so much experimentation and just trying, and sometimes there are no rules to follow. Like, sometimes you have a post that should do numbers get seen by 200-300 people, and you are sitting there confused, like, what's going on? Like, I think that if you're going to pursue content creation, you have to be in it for the long haul, not just because, or not just if you want to make it like potentially a full-time thing, but really because you never know how long it's going to take you to really get where you want to be, and there's just a lot of trial and error. I feel like, especially, it's interesting, I feel like the more popular content creation becomes, kind of the harder it gets. But I think it's just, there's a lot more saturation in the market, so obviously it's harder to get seen. But it's not for the weak. It is surely not. Going in with my House Labs concealer brush. I actually got put onto this. Alexis Wilkerson, A. Wilkie, she was talking about this on her channel, and I was like, I want to try a new brush. Like, I feel like I'm kind of trying to expand my brush collection, so I'm like, let me try this, and I do like it. The only time that I did not enjoy it is when I was using the Tarte Shape Tape. That is a really wet concealer, and if you don't let, I feel like it's probably this brush, but if you don't let the concealer dry down, it's not gonna do what it needs to. It was just, concealer was going everywhere. I was honestly scared. I'm like, I was honestly sitting there looking like, I don't know how I'm gonna save this look. But your girl got it together. But that would be my word of advice, is be cautious. Let that concealer dry down. Okay, next we're gonna talk about somebody else on Instagram has said that they wanted to hear more about how I balance work life and wellness and stuff like that. So like I mentioned, a lot of my content is centered around wellness, mainly because in my teen years I struggled with anxiety really bad. It's gotten a lot better, but I've written about it, I've talked about it, I've talked about different things that I've done in different practices, supplements, all of that. But that's kind of where my whole desire to do wellness has come from, and also just knowing that Black people are so much more predisposed to just about every illness, disorder, anything that you could think of. We're more likely to have it. I'm like, you got to get yourself together young, because the older we get, the more likely health issues arise. And that really just inspired me to want to do more for my health earlier in life. So obviously balance, wellness, mental health, all of that is something that I talk about, think about, research, read about, all that. But the thing about balance is that it's kind of a phenomenon. Like, more and more feeling like balance is not really a real thing. There's never going to be a time where something has equal amounts of your attention. Like, it's just so rare that that's gonna happen, because things are always changing in your life. You have different capacities and desires to do things. So for balance to really come about like that, if you master it, props to you, because that's a hard feat. Two of the most important things are prioritizing and setting boundaries. And the reason that prioritizing is so important is because, like I said, nothing is ever going to get the same amount of attention. So you have to be able to know, maybe I don't have time for my full self-care bath, exfoliating, reading, journaling all after work, but maybe I do have the time to journal and read and stretch. Like, you have to be able to say, based on your schedule and the things that you have to do, that there's no getting out of, what am I going to be able to do to still make time for myself? And I think that that's really important. And also setting boundaries. And I think that for girls in their young 20s and things like that, that's even more important, just because, like, there's so many things that we're trying to figure out, but there's also so many more opportunities. Maybe, you know, the girls want you to go out, but maybe you tired. Maybe you don't want to go outside this weekend, and you have to learn how to say, I'm putting my rest, my, you know, me getting that relaxation and really pouring back into myself, I'm putting that first, and I ain't going out this weekend. And that's perfectly fine, because it's gonna always be another time to go out. I promise you. Like, outside is not going anywhere. It's not going anywhere at all. But yeah, just finished my concealer. Now we're gonna go in with pressed powder. So I'm using the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Finish. This is in the shade 2. I also set my bronzer with this powder, just in a different shade. But yeah, everybody, you know, can't find balance. And like I said, if you can, please tell us what you've done to figure out the recipe, because we want to know. Like the girls are dying to know. But yeah, I think that that's really important, to be easy with yourself and realize like balance might not always be something that comes about. Maybe you just need to learn how to create more routines where that self-care is kind of already built in. But yeah, that's really all that I had planned to talk about. So I guess now it's just a free-for-all. Back to the whole travel topic. I love talking about travel because I feel like anybody any age should be traveling, because traveling just opens up your horizon and your perspective to so many things. I went on my first international trip. That was my graduation trip. Me and my mom went to Italy for 10 days last summer. Y'all, when I tell y'all I cannot wait for another Italian summer, like that was blissful. Now I'm going in with once again the Charlotte Tilbury, but this is in the shade 4, and I'm just going and setting my bronzer and all that. But yeah, I think that everybody should do that. I think that everybody should also I haven't myself, but I think that everybody should take a solo trip at some point in their life, and I can't wait to take my first one, because one thing about me, I love my alone time. Like, I ain't never been afraid to spend some time alone. Just be quiet. As much as I love to socialize and talk and all that, I love to be by myself too. Like, it's amazing. It's absolutely wonderful. Now I'm going back in with She's Flush, the Patrick Tar blush, and I'm going in with that cream shade and going back over my blush areas. But back to travel, some of the places on like my international bucket list, I really want to go to Tokyo. I really want to go to Greece. I definitely have to go back to Italy. Tokyo and Greece are really big. I want to go to Bali. My dad's been to Dubai. I feel like Dubai was a lot higher on my list when everybody was going, but I want to go, but it's not super, like, I'm not super pressed to do it right now. I want to go to Thailand. Everybody that I talked to that has been to Thailand and Tokyo both, they have said that they have had such great experiences. So I definitely want to hit those, because anytime I hear people just like ranting and raving, and so many people at that, baby, sign me up. I want to go to. Get me there. Now it's time, y'all, we are almost done. Like, look at that. But now I'm going in with my Morphe continuous setting spray. I go in with this first because to me this is truly a setting spray, in the sense that like it's gonna sink all of that makeup into your skin, and then I'll go in with the finishing spray. And I get my face pretty wet with this. Like, we want that makeup we want that second skin effect. Coordinate with your friends or coordinate with yourself, because if you want to do something and it ain't nobody else to do it with you, find out a way to do it yourself, or find some new people in your life that want to do it. Luckily, me and all my friends are always down to take a trip. You know, we ain't never even gotta say too much. Like, are y'all ready? Book them flights. But this summer I'm going to Atlanta for my birthday, Miami for another friend's birthday. This morning my mama asked me if I wanted to go to Hawaii or Mexico. So if she make that happen, best believe my bags will be packed. But yeah, anytime you could tell me, as much as I love Chicago, anytime you could tell me I'm heading to the airport going somewhere else, sign me up. I especially love being on the beach. I'm a warm girl, but I'm an August baby. I'm a Leo. I should have been said that. Like, that should have been established. So I naturally just love the warm weather. But next I'm going in with the One Size Until Dawn, another Hall of Fame makeup product. I know y'all heard about this because everybody and their mama been talking about this. Oh, it is the smell of that or just like that, it's an intense spray, but it definitely does work. But yeah, I think that, you know, travel, that if you're gonna invest in anything, invest in traveling. But another thing that I've been investing in, or just thinking more about, is my wardrobe. I feel like when you're in college and you constantly are trying to find outfits for parties or just little odd events, fast fashion, going to Shein or Fashion Nova, Pretty Little Thing, all of those is so easy, but I have been focusing a lot more on quality over quantity and building me a capsule wardrobe. This is something I definitely want to talk more about on my platforms in the future. Maybe I'll do like a shopping vlog where I go shopping for, you know, stuff in my capsule wardrobe, because I cannot wait to the Aritzia clientele sale. I think it's going to be in the summertime, and I'm creating a whole day just for me to be able to go to the Aritzia store and have my way. I cannot wait. But yeah, I think it's really important for girls that are coming into their career or just coming into their 20s to be able to do that, and really finding not only quality pieces but establishing their style. Like, the older I get, the less I lean on trends or even Pinterest like for fashion inspo, because I want things that are like genuinely created from my own inspiration and my own interest. I'm gonna come back to y'all when this mascara is done. I guess I should tell y'all which mascaras I'm going in with. I'm going with the Fenty Beauty. This is the Hella Thick, Hella Good. Get y'all this. And then this is Tarte Man Eater. I'm always, you know, if I'm doing like a full face, going to layer my mascara, because that's how I feel like you really get a voluminous lash. But if I'm just doing day to day, I typically just go in either with a Maybelline mascara or Fenty's Hella Thick, because like I said, hella good. Like, Fenty honestly doesn't miss. Okay, last thing I'm going in with is actually the Fenty liner. This is the, it just say eyeliner, oh, fly liner, I'm sorry. And I'm going back in and bringing out my Beauty Mark. It's one of my favorite features on my face, so I'm always going to go back in and bring her out because she's so cute. I just love it. For gloss, we're actually gonna go pretty simple. I don't want like a real intense lip. I'm just going in with the E.l.f. lip oil. Y'all, this, I went through this so quick. Like, I had a pretty good idea that I was going to like it. I don't think I thought I was gonna like it as much as I did, because it's almost gone. I gotta get another one. Like, it's just so glossy, so nourishing. So there's that. And then I'm gonna go in with a little bit of NYX Butter Gloss in the shade Eclair, and just literally dab the lightest bit. Like, I just wanted to give the softest whisper of pink. And there she goes. We are ready. Like, I love that. And that took like 30 minutes. Like, a nice soft beat in 30 minutes. I'll take it. All right, I really hope that y'all enjoyed this very first Get Ready with me, and I'm definitely coming back with more, because like I said, I love content where I just get, you know, to sit down, talk about girly things, talk about things that are going on in my life, and I want to share with everybody else. So if you want me to talk about certain topics, or there's just certain things that you want to learn more about from me, leave that down in the comments and let me know, and I will definitely make sure to put it in the next video. But for now, that's all. I'll see y'all later. Bye.